I will stop being late. I will be more tidy. I will achieve a good work-life balance. I won't work on Sundays. I'll take one day off from tech a week. I will lose weight. And I will finish writing my next book. Yeah, none of that happened. Hi, I'm Angela Clarke and thank you for joining me and watching today's video. I'm going to be doing a giveaway of fun and exciting things. Very posh hand lotion, ooh, snazzy. And a very posh candle, ooh, snazzy. And some chocolates, which I have to replace because I totally just ate them. Today I am trying something a little bit different and I am talking about all of the aims and the goals that I had for 2017 and how I managed to achieve none of them. Why can't I be like other people? Why can't I manage my time? Why can't I be organised? What is wrong with me? I shouldn't be doing it this way. I should be doing it like her. I'm tired. Why is everyone doing better than me? I just want to watch box sets in bed all day. So, after finding myself yet again at 3 in the morning, crying into a now empty box of chocolate covered ginger digestive biscuits and swearing that I would never ever leave my edits till this late again and never ever be working this close to deadline again, I did it again in 2017, just like I had in 2016 and in 2015 and pretty much since I've been freelance. This is basically what I've been doing to myself for the last 48 hours or so, and largely over Christmas when I haven't been spending time with my family and loved ones. What I've been doing instead is torturing myself. All the promises that I made myself that I failed, all of the tasks that I set myself that I failed, and generally all of the stuff that's gone wrong. And I've decided that I'm doing this completely wrong. I am beating myself up continuously. And it was when Mr. Ange said something to me, he was like, but you've done loads this year. You've been really busy. That I decided that instead of writing a list of all of the things that I didn't do and a list of all of the things I want to still continue to do, that I thought that what I would do is write a list of all of the things that I have done in the last 12 months. So, what have I done? First of all, I had 2 books out. Watch Me, which is my third book that I've had published and the second fiction work that I've had, and the second in the social media murder mysteries, which went to number 15 in the paperback charts. So that's the first book that I've ever had in the Sunday Times bestseller chart. And then I had Trust Me out, which is the third in the series and my 4th book that's been published and my 3rd novel that's been published. So that's quite good. But as I said, I didn't write the book that I set out to write this year. So what was I doing instead? Well, in May I hosted a radio show for BBC Three Counties called Tales from Our Lives, which looked at a number of writers, including Rowan Coleman and Howard Linsky, and what they have taken from their own life experience and how they've put that into their writing, which was fantastic. I've always wanted to work for the BBC. It was a lifetime kind of ambition realised, which was great. It was also one of those things that came in incredibly last minute, and basically I had 2 weeks notice. They were like, yeah, we'd like you to host this show, off you go. And I did. Other things that I spent my time doing, well, I wrote my first feature film, or technically I wrote half a feature film. I did this with Cal Moriarty, who is another scriptwriter and another crime writer, and we wrote a horror film, which was fantastic, and then that horror film got placed in the Los Angeles International Film Festival. It placed 3rd, the screenplay for that, and then as a result we got signed by a screenwriting agent, which was really exciting, and that script went out on submission, and we have subsequently been to see some production companies, which was also very exciting. What else did I do? Oh yeah, there was the television show, I appeared on CBS Reality's real crime writing series, which was called Written in Blood, which was presented by Simon Toyne, talking about Watch Me and how a real life murder case, nicknamed The Facebook Killer, involving Peter Chapman, inspired that book, which involved me going and filming for a couple of days. One at home here in my study, which meant I had to tidy my study, one up in Darlington, and that was fantastic. I've never done television before, and it was amazing to be on camera, even though it took me a long time to get my words right sometimes, and it turns out I have a very short memory for certain things. I also appeared on television for a second time when I unexpectedly won the BBC Ouch Edinburgh Festival competition to select people who had written amusing stories about their disabilities. For those of you who don't know, I have NLOS 3, which is also known as EDS 3, and it's a degenerative connective tissue disorder that sometimes compromises mobility, as well as giving a whole host of other fun things to manage. And I wrote a piece about that, about going for a massage where my shoulder dislocated during the massage, and was selected to read it at the Edinburgh Festival on the BBC stage, which was a huge shock, not least because last year when they did it, the people who won read from their notes, and this year they decided that they were going to do it with no notes. So I had to learn all of my all of my lines. It's amazing how even if you write something, you don't always actually remember it. Or at least I don't always remember it to say it out loud. But that was an incredible experience. I went up to Edinburgh for 2 nights and appeared on stage in front of 400 people, which was terrifying. And then that went out on the BBC and on the BBC website. So that was cool, and you know, took up a reasonably large amount of time. Also, I did write half of my next book, and as a result have sold my next 2 books. And I am moving publisher. I will be going to Hodder and Staunton, and my next book will be actually out in 2019. So I need to finish that this year. Like, I really genuinely need to finish that this year. So that was pretty cool. I also sold my first book into the United States. So Follow Me, the first in the social media murder series, will be coming out in April of 2018 in the US, which was really cool. And yeah, so when I actually started writing all these things down, I was like, oh, actually I have done like a fair few things. Also, I started doing videos, I started doing reviews of books, I started doing interviews, funny little challenges with crime writers that I know, or crime writers that I can get hold of and convince them to sit in a room and eat marshmallows on camera, etc. And yeah, it just struck me that actually I'd been so focused on what I hadn't done that I'd forgotten that I'd actually done a huge amount of stuff. And without wishing to sound awful, a huge amount of stuff that I'm really proud of. And that I'm really pleased that I've done, and I'm really pleased that I had the opportunity to do, and that I hope to do more of. And it got me thinking. I was like, I'm looking at this all the wrong way round. Okay, so I'm freelance, which means that I have to manage my time, but it also means that I have to be flexible, and sometimes opportunities come up that are fairly short notice, and you can either decide to ignore them and continue with what you had planned, or take them and go for it. And several times this year I did that. I went for it. I was like, yeah, I can do this. I'm going to do this instead. And, you know, and that means that other things got pushed further down the list. Or it meant that, you know, I did sometimes work on Sundays. I worked on Sundays quite a lot. I also am, as I said, not very well. And that means I have to manage my condition. It takes up a lot of time, a lot of my health. There are things on my aims that I should have stuck to, so having a greater work-life balance may have meant that I didn't burn out at the end of this year. Basically for the last 6 weeks of this year I've been too unwell to really do anything of any kind of use, but you know, I obviously needed a break. My mind and my body needed to just chill for a bit. And I think that life comes at you fast, right? we're all busy, we've all got stuff that comes in, we've all got opportunities that come in, we've all got things that trip us up, we've all got things that don't go to plan. And I think that we spend too much time, or we can spend too much time at this time of year, thinking about what we haven't done, what we didn't do, what we didn't get right, instead of thinking about all the things that we did do and all the things that we did achieve. Especially if things didn't go to plan this year, especially if there were kind of difficulties or obstacles that came up in the way. Sometimes just getting up and dressed is a win. And I think that's worth putting on your list as well, because, you know, there were a lot of days where I watched Netflix in bed all day. So there were other days, because I was in pain, not just because I was, lazy. But, you know, there were other days where I got up and I got dressed and I got out there and I did the things that came along my way. And we all do that. I know we all do that. And I think that it's worth remembering at this time of year that it isn't what you didn't do, it's what you did do that really counts. So, if you would like to enter the opportunity to win one of those fab prizes that I put up at the beginning of this video, then do comment below and let me know what is the thing that you've done this year that you're most proud of. And I will select a winner at random. I'll put all the names in a hat, pick them out, and I will do that by the 14th of January. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. As I said, it's a bit of a new thing for me. I'm basically sitting and chatting to you guys. Maybe that's really dull. Maybe you just like me talking about books. That's cool. I can go back to doing that. I also really need to work on my lighting because this is making me look like... If you enjoyed it, do subscribe to the video and let me know if you did enjoy it below, and I'll do more like these. And yeah, well done guys for everything that you did in 2017. I know that you smashed it. Lots of love. Bye.